Hello everybody, Colecraft Miner here, and welcome to part 2 of how I make my thumbnails. Now part 1 was just a low quality sped up video of how I do this. However, this one's going to be more precise and it's going to be more like a walkthrough. So let's get started. First, I use the program Blender. You can look, if you want to use like another modeling animation software, you can look that up. There's Autodesk something, there's Adobe, there's all kinds of stuff, but I use Blender just because that's what I had access to at the time. That's what I use to this day. So first we're going to delete the default cube, and what I like to do before I do anything is, in order for our character to have some light, we need to do this. We need to brighten up. First, I like to make a background right like this. Like my main colors are blue and green, and you can brighten it up and darken it. That's how I have backgrounds in my thumbnails. So I can do green or I can do blue. I'll go with a kind of blue-green color, just so it's kind of a mix. And then in order for our lighting to work, and our character actually has some light shining on it from this little lamp here, we are going to turn on ambient occlusion, and I like to set it to 0.25. And I mean, you can play with the numbers, see what lighting fits you, but I like to do this because my character shows up great in the thumbnail. I sometimes play around with it so my character has some like cool shading, but otherwise I'll do this. So also, you want to check right here the fall off. Check that, and then make the strength 10, or once again whatever you like. Adjust it to your liking, but I do 10. And then once you have this taken care of, you can do File and Append. Now I have this skin rigs downloaded by rymdnisse. I don't know how they're pronounced. I'll leave a link in the description. If I can find the file right here. I have this rig pack downloaded from Minecraft forums. You can get it yourself. I will try to leave a link in the description, however I won't promise it. You may have to search for it. But anyway, we're going to click character, we're going to go to group and get the character, and then we're going to hit link append from library. And you'll notice that we have a character inside our 3D view here. So what we need to do now is, this little device here is our camera. This is what shows up on the screen, like that. If we click render, we can see what the camera sees. Now you'll notice right here it's looking at it from an angle. So that's what we see. And you'll also notice that the character has the default skin. Well, what we need to do is we need to press Shift S, cursor to center, to make sure the cursor is at the center, the 3D cursor right here. It's like a little crosshair looking thing. And then we're going to make sure the camera is selected, do Shift S again, and do selection to cursor. And you'll see that brings it to the grid, or wherever the 3D cursor is. Like if I put the 3D cursor over here, I can do selection to cursor, and it goes there. So cursor to center, selection to cursor. Then I like to press N. Whoops, I already had it open. And this is the properties panel. You can adjust the rotation of the camera. For this case, we need it on the x-axis, we need it 90 degrees, and then 0, 0. And then I leave the rest alone. And then if I left click on the arrow and slide, I can slide the camera along the y-axis. And I can slide it along the z-axis and the x-axis. So I can adjust it on the y-axis to zoom in or out practically, and I can use the z-axis to move up and down. So I'm going to try to fit where I think it should be. That's just a bit too big. We'll slide it back a bit, maybe just up a little bit. Just a right there. Play around with it. Of course, this is another thing that you can do just to do it to your liking. Next thing we're going to do is actually add a custom skin to this character, because if we hit render, it has the default Steve skin. I don't want that. I want it to have my skin. I have my skin downloaded to my computer, so you can download skins to your computer and use whatever skin you want. I'm going to X out the skin. I'm going to press open. I'm going to go to my skin file folder with all my skins. And I'm going to select Coalcraft Miner because that's my skin. Also, it's best for this kind of character to have your skin's face clear of like eyes and mouth, because otherwise it makes the character look weird, because it already comes with eyes, eyebrows, and a mouth and stuff. So I edited my skin a while back so that way it was fit for Blender, and I could use it to make thumbnails and stuff. However, there is like an option on character simple rig where you go to append the character where it doesn't have any of these 3D facial features, so that way you can use any skin, but we'll worry about that later. So if we press render, the character now has my skin that I would have in Minecraft. So we're going to zoom in with the camera a bit, maybe bring it down. Still needs to zoom in. That'll work. Now, next we need to do is pose our character. Well, actually first we need to, we need to pose mode. And we're going to go down here and select from object mode to pose mode. And then I'm going to adjust it so it has no fingers. And I think that's it on the design. And then the controls you can mess with is where you can mess with the facial features and stuff. Right here is the mouth. If I press G, I can make my mouth go wow, wah. So I'm gonna like open it, like maybe right there. And then here here you can make your mouth smile or frown. I'm gonna put it back to normal. I'm going to make my mouth smile, so I'm gonna bring both of them up, so that increases the corners of my mouth. I'm then gonna use the teeth. These are the teeth. That's what makes the teeth show. There. See? And then right here, we have the eyebrows, which you can rotate using R. And bring it up a bit. And you can do the left eyebrow. Whoop, and bring it up a bit. I need to snap the cursor back. There we go. And now it's time to pose the character. If we click on the character's bones and go to pose mode, we can do this kind of thing. We can move the arms around, and we can click on these little bones down here to make the legs move around however we want. We can also turn these to make the legs rotate. Now what I like to do, I think for this pose, I'm going to just kind of do like a disco pose, I don't know. Just for example. So I'm going to like rotate the arm to do this. You render that. The arm needs to go in a little bit. So I'm going to click on this bone, go to the front view by pressing 1 on the numpad, and double tap R so it's in 3D rotation mode, and just go down. There. Now for the other arm, we're going to just kind of simply bring it up and rotate, rotate. There. And I can maybe give it just a little bend. There. Now we're going to click on these bones and we can move the legs around. Like so. First I want to rotate the leg. There we go. And then if we just kind of move it up a little bit, we can get the leg to have that little knee bending effect, as you can see in the rendered image. And then we can kind of maybe just rotate this leg a little bit. And there we go. Now, these bones can be used to move the eyes around. For instance, if you render, and then if we do this, render, Control Z, you can move the eyeballs around. And then here with this bone, you can do this kind of number, like it's the chest bone, and then right here is the head bone, which you can just rotate the head around, like I can make it look this way. And there we go. However, I'm going to keep it facing at the camera. And then we're going to kind of bring this in a bit. We're going to check to make sure everything's the way we want it to be. Yeah. Now, I'm going to put some coal in my hand. I'm going to go to Append, go back to the rig file, and go to Item Rig. Object. I should find coal somewhere. If I look, Item Coal. You'll notice it's a big, so we're going to have to scale it down a bit. I have to scale it like that by pressing S and sliding the mouse. I'm going to put it in my hand. We're going to make sure the camera can catch it. Alrighty. Just kind of need to bring it down a bit. There we go. So now we have coal in our hand. Alright, so now I'm going to go to Append, and I'm going to put some text into the thumbnail by going to the blocks rig, where you can get all your blocks, and go to Object. I'm going to select Text Pixel Font, and link and append from library. And going to type in whatever we want. For this, I'm going to put thumbnails, or thumbnail, and then press tab to put it back in object mode. I'm going to scale it. Then I'm going to duplicate it and do this. I'm going to rotate it, bring it up. I'm going to press tab to put it in edit mode so I can type in it and put part 2. This will be the thumbnail used in the video that you will see. By the way, if you haven't figured out yet, well, I can't talk. So I'm going to press tab. You'll notice I now have them selected. So cursor to center because I accidentally moved that. If you go to render, got this. I think thumbnail can be brought over and up a bit, and this can be brought way over. Now they're way too sideways for me, so I think we're gonna render. We're gonna kind of do this, maybe. You know what I think I'm gonna do is do rotation on the Y 0. Whoops, rotation on the Y 0. I'm gonna rearrange these. Whoop, I keep selecting the camera. If we just move it over a bit and then up a bit. I got it. Oh my gosh, I keep selecting the things I don't want to select. I'm gonna move this over, put part 2, render it. That looks good. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching part 2 of my Minecraft thumbnail video. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye!